Is that did Scott send that to you? Because Scott sent me a text during all this.
Yeah, and I think he must have sent it to you then.
Yep. He also maybe I can bring this up on screen. He sent me this morning.
Yeah, he sent me that yesterday.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the after hours, the final episode, maybe
The after party
of
This is where we get saucy.
This is the after hours, the after party. This is game of the year at night. We're here to talk about these are kind of like the cleanup categories where I think it's like there's stuff that it's worth talking about here, but they're the minor ones. But we're going to start out with our missed connections. These are the games that probably we would really like these had we actually played them.
Mm-hmm.
Inevitably, it happens every single fucking year.
Too many games, not enough time.
Yeah, too many games, not enough time, or just schedules don't work out, or maybe they're just priced a little too high. Who knows? But my number 3 is a game I backed on Kickstarter years ago. So I feel obligated, like I should probably play this motherfucker. But it is a game called Pray for the Gods, Prey, for the gods, due to a lawsuit from Bethesda because they couldn't call it Prey for the gods because fuck Bethesda. But that was also years ago when they were releasing their version of Prey. This game is a bunch of people who got tired of waiting for a new Shadow of the Colossus. That game I don't like, wanting to make a new Shadow of the Colossus. And then midway through development, Breath of the Wild came out, and they were like, that climate on wall shit's really cool. Sorry, guys, we're delaying the game indefinitely until we develop out an open world climbing system. Strap in. And it just came out this year, long since I stopped giving a shit. And I feel like I should probably play it because I backed it. But also, I don't really give a shit anymore. And I don't like Shadow of the Colossus.
But you do kind of like Breath of the Wild.
I do like Breath of the Wild for the most part. I also respect Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm.
If someone could maybe like iterate on Shadow of the Colossus, maybe it would jive with me.
Like if you could climb walls or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Pray for the Gods. It looks neat, and I own it. It's installed on my computer right now.
You'll get there someday.
I know I won't. I still haven't played Owlboy. Ryan, what is your number 3? What do you wish you had played this year?
I mean, even despite some of the stuff you guys have said, I feel a little bad that I missed out on a Ratchet and Clank game.
I still wish you would have played Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I want to be part of that conversation, but it's going to be another case of Tools of Destruction for me, where it's like Tools of Destruction was a system seller, and then I just didn't get a PS3 until after the PS4 came out. And then I finally played it and I like the PS3 trilogy.
It's fine.
Tools, it has crack in time.
Rift Apart is still good. Mm-hmm. It's a good game. It's just not. They've been in kind of a rut for the last few Ratchet games.
And I just like Ratchet games.
Yeah,
but I mean,
fun.
after hearing everything, it's it's still not like a big priority, but it will be a purchase.
Let's talk about the fucking Morts.
Yeah,
the Morts are great. Fucking Midwestern minions.
But yeah, that's mine.
That's super reasonable. Hunter, what do you wish you had played this year?
My number 3 is No More Heroes 3 because I forgot that came out.
I did too. Which is not on my list.
I also wish I had played that.
But I also heard that was a pretty divisive one for everybody. Where it's like I heard some people being like, "This is the worst No More Heroes," and some people being like, "This is the most Suda 51 game."
It's the last one, whether you like it or not.
More, so.
Like you said, it's the last one, regardless of how it sold, which I think was bad.
I mean, yeah, I don't think No More Heroes has really been a big seller anyway.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I mean, are any of his games really?
No, not really.
Not until we get Killer is Dead 2.
Yeah.
Never. Well, we never. Jason, what is your what do you wish you what's something? Hit me with something you wish you had played.
So this list was kind of tough because I really didn't feel like I missed that much because I just didn't give a fuck. And I technically did play this game, but I just tossed Riders Republic on there
Well,
because I really like Steep. Steep was
that
a very
was my
fun
number
game.
3 until recently.
Steep was a very fun game, and it's just dumber, goofier Steep, I think. And I played like 20 minutes of it at your house like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
But I'd
watching
still
you play it was
consider
very
it-
fun.
I'd still consider it a missed connection because I didn't really play it. I just fucked around and played with
Yeah.
the toys. I didn't like do any races or anything. And I'm sure that game will be very, very, very cheap, if not free, at some point.
Shit, dog, I got it for $20.
Yeah.
Fucking
so
on Black Friday or
I
holiday
might
time.
still like pick it up someday just to have like another game I can throw on to fuck around on for 20 minutes at a
Yeah.
time.
I feel like the way I like to fuck around in a Forza game, I could see you just kind of getting in and spending a lot of time with it. It
I
doesn't.
mean, that's what I did in Steep. It's not like a completed Steep, but I still played a shitload of Steep because it's
It's-
just fun to fuck like snowboard and skydive.
Yeah, but
like,
just getting in the
and, like-
jetpack wingsuit is cool.
And like in Steep, it was always really fun to parachute upwards using like the updraft on mountains was just a really cool physics thing they did.
Hmm.
So I figured, I mean, Riders Republic might have some fun, goofy shit like that.
It seems like it does.
I think that game for what it is, it's cool. I'm glad that they iterated on Steam. God rest Matt's soul. He would have loved Riders Republic.
It's got snowy mountains.
It's very and it's all got dusty mountains.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm. Really, and what is dust if not the snow of the desert?
Dusty Mountain sounds too derivative.
So Riders Republic was my number 3 until I did purchase it like a week before the end of the year, and I played it a little bit. It's exactly what I expected. But my number 2 is a game that I keep waiting for the sale, and I've seen it for $30 and I've seen it for $25 depending on the platform. But I think I needed it 20 or I needed it $15.
Oh, is it going to be the same one as mine?
I hope so. I like a little game called Trackmania quite a little bit. And a game came out this year called Hot Wheels Unleashed.
I
that looks
fucking forgot that game came out.
Yeah.
it looks extremely Trackmania. And
That's
it
also
kind of
my
came,
other number 3.
it came and went, and it got like fairly good reviews.
It
Like,
got
people
really
seem to
good
like it.
reviews.
And I watch people play it. It's like I look at it, it's like I think I would enjoy this game, but it's $50 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like game price should matter when reviewing something, but
But sneeze.
but I need it to be a little bit cheaper for me to pull the trigger because I know I'm not gonna like sit and like really fuck with it. I'm much like Riders Republic. I would never pay full price for Riders Republic, but I think I would like to get it for $20 and fuck around with it.
Hmm. And it's hard to like take the plunge, even if there's good reviews for something. It's a licensed game.
Yeah.
It's also, for me, there are certain genres of games that's like I'm just not going to pay full price for, no matter how good it is. I would never pay full price for a Forza. I don't pay full price for racing games.
Yeah.
Like
And-
there's something that people can get into. I can't get into them at the level I expect for paying full price for.
You can drive Hot Wheels cars in Forza Horizon 5. Also,
Exactly.
Just saying.
But yeah, I like it. Looks arcadey. It's like a track racer, and it's all on like Hot Wheels tracks. So you're all shrunk down. You're playing with really well modeled Hot Wheels cars. Like it's everything I'd want a Hot Wheels game to be, but they finally made a good one instead of just like some shitty license game.
Brian, I need you to play this new fucking cruising game.
I want to.
It's fucking buck
I've seen
wild.
so much stuff for it.
It fit into no. If there was some kind of like jazz session where we just kind of talked about games, it would maybe come up in there despite not hitting any of my categories. But yeah, Hot Wheels Unleashed. I this year that game will be $20, and I will get it.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll hit
probably
Game Pass or
maybe.
something.
that was also my number 2.
I
So,
hope it's very
Hunter.
Trackmania-y, and I also hope that it doesn't do the thing that I don't like about Trackmania, and that it just like puts a pretty fucking intense skill wall on
I
like,
don't
the
think it
last
will. I
third
think
of
it's
the
more
game.
of like I think it's more of like an arcade racing game than it is.
Because like Trackmania, it feels amazing, looks amazing, but like I've never even gotten to try like a third of the tracks because I'm not good enough to unlock them.
Jason, what you like about Trackmania, like your Trackmania experience, and my Trackmania experience are so. I need to show you what I think of when I think of Trackmania sometime when you come over.
Do you like hating it?
No, I like Trackmania Turbo is like not a Trackmania game in my like brain, but like it is. It's like it does the things, but I need to show you Trackmania 2 on PC.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
With modded servers
Yeah,
where it's
I've
the
just played the
worst
one that's on
shit.
Xbox.
It's like if Gary's Mod was a racing game. It's buck wild. I love it. But Hunter, what was something you hoped to get buck wild with but did not?
My top two games are, I just want to say that they are sealed and on my desk. I'm
I
looking at
hate
them
you.
right now. My number two is Neo: The World Ends with You, which
Oh, I
is
heard
the
that was
world ends.
good.
Yeah, I have too, but it's right there. It's the sequel to The World Ends with You, which was a Square Enix DS game. It was really fucking. That one was really fucking good, and then didn't sell too well because it's a new IP on the DS, and Square Enix has unreasonable expectations sometimes.
Insanely
So-
unreasonable.
Sometimes, come on, buddy.
Okay, all the time, but I mean, I'm trying to be nice so they sponsor us. And the closest thing to a sequel was they did a countdown for World Ends with You, and people were freaking out. I was like, oh, it's a sequel, it's a sequel. And they did like a whole week-long countdown, like 4 years after the game came out, and it was just for an iOS port, and that pissed a lot of people off. And then just assumed there wouldn't be ever a sequel. And then like last year, 2 years ago,
I
don't
think so.
remember. I don't remember when they're just like, hey, we're making another World Ends with You, and also we're gonna make an anime for the first one. Okay.
And a Switch port. Got
And
a Switch port.
Well, the Switch port came before that news.
Okay.
They just
Yeah,
they
idiot.
made a Switch port, and then like I don't know, half a year or so later, they're like, hey, we're doing this stuff now. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, just
You voted with
It's-
your wallet. You'll play it
it's-
someday.
it's shrink wrapped.
Holds value. Jason, what is shrink wrapped on your desk?
Some magic cards. My number two.
I really
is
thought you were just
game-
going to be quiet until I asked.
That would
I
have been
said-
a good bet.
My number two is a game that I definitely fucking had no interest in, and it was just too little too late after hearing like people actually say that it wasn't like a total garbage game like I expected it had to be. And that's Guardians of the Galaxy. 'Cause
I
it's a
would just
fucking-
want anyone else to back me up on this.
It's a video game that was a movie recently, and that I feel like that almost always goes bad.
Mhm.
So I just assumed it was going to be horrible. I assumed it was going to be.
so badly.
I have
just
trouble separating
assumed-
it from the Telltale one, and it's like I keep expecting it to be like a Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just was like, I saw that it existed. I was like, nah, that's gonna fucking suck. There's that can't be fun at all. But then you played it and have said a lot of good things, and like a lot of the game of the year like podcasts I've listened to have had very good things to say about it. And then I like looked, I was like, it's like a 20-hour game for normal humans that aren't Dash, and it's a little too late. You play games way too fast, so I cannot judge anything based on how long it takes you to beat a game. Because I err to like 10 to 20% longer than the
To be
listed
fair,
average.
20 to be fair, your assessment is relatively correct. It took me about 15 hours, so I bet it takes a normal person 20.
Right. Yeah. And
So,
that's
like-
pretty consistent. And I saw that I was like, I'm in the middle of three. By the time it was like I was hearing good things, I was already like halfway through Metroid, halfway, like a quarter of the way through Resident Evil. I had just picked up and started playing Deathloop. I was like, I can't add a fourth game to my plate and try and squeeze it in before we talk about games. So I just decided I was not going to get to play it, and I probably never will.
It'll only get cheaper.
Yeah, but I'll probably never play it.
That's
Yeah, but
it's-
more games will also come out.
To be fair, that's also fine.
Yeah, but
It's
it
not-
sounded good.
It's good, but it's like I will say I did enjoy that game. It is not on. It would not be on a top 10 list for me, and I think maybe people are overhyping that game a bit.
Maybe.
It's good, but let's be reasonable, people.
I will say I'm
No.
disappointed.
I will not be reasonable.
No, never.
Dash, what's your number one?
So I'm pretty sure this is like literally on my most anticipated in 2020. And it came out and it got middling reviews and it was $40 and it's Solar Ash. And I really do want to play that game, but I don't want to pay $40 for an okay experience, even though it looks kind of cool and I really liked Hyper Light Drifter, but I don't know. It just didn't review super well. Hello, Marnie. Biggest surprise. But yeah, like I bet I enjoy Solar Ash to some extent.
Yeah, it might be just an okay game, but
Yeah.
sometimes I don't know. Sometimes there's something like a lot of my favorite games end up reviewing in the 6 and 7s because
Yeah.
maybe something didn't click with other people that would end up clicking with me. So
And hey,
there might be something there, but it is kind of it's a tough sell. I
it's
think.
really hard to follow Hyper Light Drifter.
That's true.
One of the best video games.
Never finished it.
It's great, but yeah, Solar Ash, I'll probably like it if I bet that game's gonna go on sale for like $20 and then I'll snag it.
My number one is a game that was originally just like I think like an Apple Arcade exclusive. It finally ended up getting ported this year onto everything in like July, and I just flat out did not know that until I was looking at the stuff that came out this year list. That's Alba, a wildlife adventure. It's basically indie game Pokemon Snap, except you have an open world, like realistic national park.
Oh, so it's like Africa.
A little bit less realistic than Africa.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like a fun little adventure about saving the environment, and something ever since how the trailer was like, I really want to fucking play that. And then it was only exclusive to I don't have, and then apparently got ported, and I didn't know that. But hey, I want to play that. It looks fun and cute, and I like them. They were kind of thingies.
You stuff's good. Hunter, what's your cutest thing that you didn't play?
Sorry, I got distracted because when he said it was realistic but not too realistic, I started thinking of like an arcade camera game, kind of like, but like Ace Combat. But instead of a plane, you're a cameraman. Anyway, my number one missed connection, also on my desk, is The Great Ace Attorney.
I played that one.
Because I remember when they first started showing it off, back when it was like a 3DS game, and they're like, hey, we're making like a prequel. And it's set, and you meet up like Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that.
Fucking excuse me.
He's
That's
Sherlock
not his
Holmes
name.
in the Japanese version.
I know, but say his English name
His English name is Sherlock Holmes.
to get around copyright.
And then they showed off the first one. It's like, oh, that's cool. And then people are like, bad news, they're probably not going to localize it. And I was like, yeah, that tracks. And then they came out with a second one. I was like, oh, that's also cool. Probably not going to localize that one either. And then they didn't until they made a Switch port of both of them.
Yeah, the same way you like to vote with your wallet. That one I didn't necessarily anticipate finishing it, and I sure enough did not. But that one was very much a vote with my wallet. Like I want to just support this to really hit home to Japanese publishers. Capcom, please localize everything, please.
It's also weird that it got a physical release when like the last two Ace
We're digital
Attorney
only,
games. Yeah, we're digital only here.
Yeah, that was very much a vote with my wallet purchase. I don't do that as nearly as often as you do, but I really did want to show my support on this one. Also, and I've had a good time with what I've played of it. It's just those games are very slow burns.
Yeah. I mean, the whole series pretty much is.
Yep, and that's fine. Jason, what is the number one thing you didn't get a chance to play?
So my number one game that I didn't get a chance to play is technically also a game I touched at your house. It was one of the only PS5 exclusives, but it ran like doo-doo when it came out, and then I forgot to play it. And that's Returnal.
I felt really bad, like kind of showing that to you because there's so much nuance of the game that you can't do at like my level on it, and it's like
Oh, I
it,
mean,
just,
yeah,
it
I
takes time to
assume-
get into it. It's like that game
No, I
shows
knew
badly.
I knew I saw basically none of it, but it was just the fact like it came out. I knew people who got it and played it and told me that it ran like shit and that they would lose like 3 hours of progress. And I was like, well, I'm definitely not gonna fucking do that.
It's I
And like I know they
I'm
fixed it, I think.
they fixed yes. I realize
Like,
I
I
am
just
a
kinda
very
forgot
edge
to ever
case
play
for
it.
that game, but I did really like Returnal.
No, and I don't think I wouldn't like it. It ran like shit when it came out. I forgot about it for months. And then it just was another one where I was like, nah, I'm not
And
gonna
they aren't
fucking
price
play
dropping
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's still $70.
They're gonna keep those PS5 games high until everyone can get a PS5.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're not. Nobody's getting a chance to buy it full price now. It would be unfair.
I mean, I'd lend you Returnal once you are done with Resident Evil.
I mean, yeah, I might dick around with it at some point.
It's fun. I hope they
It looked-
do like iterate on that or like do another
It
one.
looked pretty and it felt good. And I mean, I only played it for like 10 or 15 minutes, like a very low level of the game, but I was intrigued.
Yeah, I really like Returnal. I have my own unique set of problems with that game. That I understand.
I want to Returnal it to the store.
Games journalists and myself do not play roguelikes the same amount. So it's fine. It happens. But those are our misconnections. But on the kind of flip side, things that we wish we had played, I want to talk about some things that we're wishing that we will end up playing. These are going to be our most anticipated games. This is whatever is coming out in 2022 this year that we are just really excited for. A lot of stuff to get excited for already on the books. Looks like a fairly strong Q1. But my number 3 and I'm not going to fucking talk about Elden Ring on any of these because honestly, I'm not fucking excited for Elden Ring, even though I know I'm going to play the fucking thing. My number 3 is a game that I purchased a long time ago on the Epic Game Store because it was on sale and I knew that it's going to come out eventually, and it is set to come out here probably within the first 6 months of the year, but they're not super certain yet. It will be leaving early access. I could technically boot it right now and play it, but I'm saving myself for full release on Rogue Legacy 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I fucking love Rogue Legacy. They did a game in between Rogue Legacy and Rogue Legacy 2 called Full Metal Furies that sold like shit because they marketed the game extremely badly and did not reveal critical details to reviewers.
It was a cool game.
Lost a ton of money on that game, so they were kind of like, well, we didn't want to do a sequel to Rogue Legacy, but gotta eat. So here's early access Rogue Legacy 2. I've heard pretty positive things about it, but I don't play early access games anymore.
Probably a good call.
Yep. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Although PUBG was only good when it was in early access.
So that is true. That is true. But yeah, I want to play Rogue Legacy 2. Ryan, what do you want to play?
My number 3, I am cautiously optimistic about. I want to try that Wonderlands thing. That Borderlands.
Okay.
My brain is so tainted by Balan.
Yeah.
I was like, what? They're making a sequel?
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think it's called Wonderlands.
No, it is.
I'm not as cold on Tiny Tina. I'm right in the middle on Tiny Tina. I know there's people hate her and think she's annoying, or people love her and she's my girl and all
wrong,
that stuff.
But...
Yeah, I'm not really in either
character.
Camp. Yeah.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Oh, I've never heard of her until this thing.
For Borderlands 2, they did their 4th DLC was like they did a fake D&D campaign that with her running it, like the environment would change while you were playing because she was making stuff up on the spot, and it was pretty good. It had a lot of like references to fantasy video games, which I found kind of annoying. I'm hoping that they can do something interesting with expanding it and it doesn't just feel like the same thing, but it looks like they're making some smart decisions and it might be pretty fun. It's number 3.
I hated the fucking writing, but I love Borderlands 3, and I really hope I could get into Wonderlands.
It seems cool. I'm kind of excited for like a change of environment, a change of something, and I'm getting more into like fantasy stuff now, so maybe if they do pack it with references, maybe it'll
I'm also like itching for some Diablo, so like it might be able to do that for me. Like I'm Not
play
gonna
Torchlight
buy
3.
Wonderlands.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna buy it. But Hunter, what are you not gonna buy?
So I didn't put this one on here until recently when I remembered it, and I know how it's gonna sound, but it's my number 3 is unironically Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Oh my god. I mean, yes, for different reasons.
Because like
Which one is that? Is that like the
That's
hack and
the
slash
one.
remake of the
Yeah,
first one?
that's the one where he plays Limp Bizkit on his phone and says bullshit, and then
Yeah,
leaves.
it's that one. I am also very hotly anticipating that.
Like the gameplay looks fine enough, and then it's just like I want to see how. Yeah, I was like, I want to see how stupid they get with it. Like if they stop being like that level of stupid, it will genuinely be a worse game.
Like, it looks so Nomura, and I need him to be more Nomura than he's ever been before.
Have Kingdom Hearts 3 just go straight to his head.
I mean, yes, that's yes.
Pretty
Like,
sure it
just-
already has.
Like, let Nomura keep doing whatever he wants because he's insane. Jason, what's your number 3?
Okay, before I say my number 3, I just so badly this year would like some home run games that we did
Mhm.
not get this year or in 2021.
You mean like baseball games or like games that are really fucking good?
No, they're bringing
It's-
Slugfest back.
Because I was just
Backyard baseball.
like earlier while we were setting up or like between rounds, I was just looking at previous year's games, and this year sucked or 2021 sucked.
That's how I
Yeah.
felt.
Like
There was
2016,
decent
2016 we had
nuggets.
Doom. 2017 we had Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, which I didn't play but everyone loved.
Fuck, has it really been that
2018.
long?
You, dude, that year had
2018.
PUBG.
Fuck off. 2018 had
Excuse me?
2018 had Red Dead 2, which wasn't my thing, but a lot of people liked, and Spider-Man. 2019 had Control and Sekiro, another game everyone liked, except Ryan, I think.
Mhm.
And then like 2020 had Ghost of Tsushima, Animal Crossing, and Miles Morales. And then 2021 had, I mean, dog shit compared to a lot of those years.
I agree, but maybe it's just because I didn't play very much, or I missed all of the good games.
In terms of just like highly popular games, Dash is being a little bitch down there at the bottom of my screen.
I'm just saying, you maybe branch out a little bit more.
No.
There's a lot of good games.
Dash, what were your top 5 games?
I mean, Forza, Halo, Metroid, Unpacking, and Takes Two.
I played all of them.
And those were all really good.
Yeah, they were good, but they weren't they weren't Control or Ghost of Tsushima good. Those fucking games were in every single category for almost all of us the last 2 years.
Well, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima wasn't good, so obviously.
you forget, Jason, I'm the only one who backs you up on that game.
Whatever. Yeah, but for both of us, it was in like every category.
Very good
year.
game.
I feel the same way.
Jason. We did not have any of those games this year.
Yeah, it felt
And
like
I'm just really hoping that there is one for 2022.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of stuff this year really couldn't come to bat with other games that have come out in the past. Like if I was looking at like top of the year lists, like I feel like my top 5 is the bottom 5 of the big ass list of games that came out in the past 5 years.
Get out in front of it and say that my number 1 game on my list is definitely not going to be one of those games. But we'll get to that.
Well, I mean, I feel like
2021
kind of got shat on because global pandemic, but also the whole transition into a new console phase.
Mhm.
No,
But
100%.
also-
there
but
are
then-
reasons for
but
it.
also
Then
not-
6 people have the new consoles, so
Yeah.
everyone
I
kind of
mean,
had to
there are
retool the
reasons
game.
for why there are reasons for why it was a bad year, but it was just still like Metroid Dread was my number 1, very fun game, but I didn't have a thing for it in every single category. I didn't play 40 hours of it like I did games in those previous years.
Right.
But
And
my
like
number
just
3
because there's good reasons doesn't mean that
Yeah,
the games didn't suffer for it.
it was just
Well,
it
yeah,
was
I'm
a down
not-
year, and I'm hoping for a good bounce back. But who knows? My number 3 is Sifu, and it comes out in like 3 weeks.
That one does
I
look
hope
pretty neat.
Sifu's cool. Again, I think
Yeah.
Absolver's cool.
I could
I
not get
think
into Absolver.
Neither could I, but I think it's. I want to
think-
be able to.
I think it looks neat. I'm hoping that it's more like it looks like a small game, but it's still $50.
Oh fuck!
So
Really?
That's why I'm hoping that it's more than it looks.
Oh, gonna need you to take the hit on that one, buddy.
I probably will. That's fine.
See, I
Yikes,
But yeah, no,
remember
I didn't know that.
I
I know,
played like
I
30 minutes of Absolver, and I was
I
like, "Hey,
just
this
looked
is
up
neat."
I just looked up the price and saw that it was $50, and I'm like, man, that
Ugh.
game that game must be bigger than I assumed it
Absolver
was.
was like $20.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's
Yikes.
$50. So we'll fucking see. I mean, I'll buy it unless
Did
it
not
like
know
reviews.
that.
If it reviews horribly, then maybe I just don't touch it.
And likewise, if
But-
it reveals super well, I might pull the trigger. Just $50
Right.
for a digital game's hard for me.
Oh, is it digital only? I didn't even
I
realize
think
that.
so.
Well, then it's $45 if you have a PS Plus. So
Oh wow.
that's something.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I think I haven't really looked that much at it, and it comes out on the 8th of next month. So I might look into it a little more before I pull the trigger. But I think it looks fun. I think it looks neat.
Yeah, could be cool.
Yeah, I'll fuck with that.
And
Maybe
again, I also don't think that's going to be like one of the home run games of the year.
the game, my number one most anticipated. I don't think there's a decent chance it doesn't even break my top 10, but it's what I'm most excited for right now.
But
And that's what matters.
what's your number two?
My number two is a little game that has been recently confirmed to, in fact, not be fucking vaporware. I've seen the gameplay. I have seen they've shown a game. My girl is back. I am getting Bayonetta 3 this year. They have shown the game.
I missed when they showed the gameplay, I guess.
Yeah, she's got new hair now again.
I still don't know what that game is. I know it's a Smash
They're
character.
they're Devil May Cry games. It's the guy who made Devil May Cry made a new Devil May Cry, but not Devil May Cry, and he made it even better. I like the Bayonetta games an extreme amount.
They're,
Does your sword have a motorcycle throttle?
No, but
Your
shoes
hair
have
has a
guns.
demon. Yeah, your shoes have guns and your hair has a demon.
Bayonetta
Okay.
is what if
When's
Devil
that-
May Cry but woman?
When's that
Yeah.
come out? I might fuck with that.
It's due out this year. This is the only reason it's not my number one is I'm still not completely certain it's going to be out this year, but I think
my
it's going to
number
be
one-
out this year.
My number one is entirely possible that it doesn't come out this year, but it currently has a 2022
Yeah,
release date, so
same.
it
This,
counts.
this
I'm
has a
willing to
2022
bet-
release date.
If Jason remembers it, his number one most anticipated one actually just got delayed into 2023.
Oh yeah, no, Harry Potter got delayed out.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, they recently confirmed that it's a 2023.
Yeah, I just Googled it. Its Wikipedia still says 22.
Yeah, it was like this week, I think. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that and then mentally remarking, "Huh, I bet that's in his most anticipated."
Yeah.
Sorry, Jason, you got to work on your list again.
Okay, I'll change something.
But yeah,
But I also strongly expect that game to not be a home run. I
Mhm.
expect it to be bad. Like I'm going into
License
that
games
game.
are kind of turning around
I-
again, though. So
I'm going into
I'm
that game
hoping.
thinking it's going to be horrible.
yeah, but that
I'm
game's
still
in
gonna play it.
development hell.
Yeah.
The internal morale's not great. There's some stuff coming out about that game.
Oh, neat.
Um,
My number
What bad
two-
game dev stories? No way.
My number two is my dude, and he is going open world. I'm talking Kirby and the Forgotten
not your
Land.
number one. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's
No.
surprising.
How am I more excited for fucking Kirby than you are?
Because I'm excited for a new Dark Souls type game.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like playing right now.
Oh, spoilers! You guys are spoiling your lists.
Dash is goading me into
Most surprising.
Kirby looks cool. They're giving him a gun.
Yeah, he's got a gun.
But Kirby games can be good, they can be bad. They're kind of all over the place. So
Yeah.
I think this is another one that I'm cautiously optimistic about, because while I look at it and think that's cool, we could be running into another Star Allies, or we could be doing another Triple Deluxe, or this could be somewhere in the middle where we get like a
Or maybe we get
fucking like Robobot. Like Robobot was neat, but it wasn't great.
Hunter, what's your
What if
number
it's-
two?
What if it's another canvas curse though?
Then I will hate it.
What if it's the SNES golf one?
Fuck
No.
off. I
Like,
modded
that's
my
the
SNES
thing.
Mini to take that game off. Fuck
That's the
Dream
thing,
Course.
just- Kirby's kind of all over the place, and it seems like it's just another Nintendo game that they're like, let's open the levels up a little bit. So I'm hoping it's more Bowser's Fury than it is Mario Golf.
You show us a Z-axis and we will lose our minds.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Hunter,
My
what's your
number
number
two is
two?
also Kirby.
Fuck all y'all.
Not number one.
Fuck all y'all motherfuckers.
Number 2,
Fucking
Burger King
foot
Kirby
lettuce.
lettuce.
Jason, what's your number 2?
You guys made me edit my list.
Here, we can stall for time. They should bring back power combos from Kirby Crystal Shards.
I agree.
Boggles my mind that we're still begging for that.
I want a gun that shoots electricity.
Did
That would
they
be
do?
cool.
They did.
Like
They tried to do
Railgun Kirby?
something combo power like in Star
Star
Allies, right?
kind of, but like barely.
Mm.
It was
Because it's just
mostly
like,
like,
oh,
if
this
you
character
hold
can
up
do
your sword,
fire.
yeah, you can.
This character can do sword. What if the sword was on fire?
Yeah, or like water sword, wind sword, shit like
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Whereas like everyone in fucking Crystal Shards feels like an original power.
Yeah, and they're just
Yes, and
bananas.
it's incredible.
They feel like original powers, but let's face it, you're always just gonna go exploding ninja star.
Mhm.
Exploding Ninja Star is busted, but also like Electricity Rock is like 5 of them are busted, 5 of them are useless, and then there's just like some in between that you kind of just begrudgingly use.
How is refrigerator useless?
No, Refrigerator's great. It's infinite health. You'll never die.
It's
You'll never
sleep
die
that's
anyway.
useless.
It's a
Okay,
Kirby game. You're never gonna die
That's the
anyway.
point.
I have a bullshit filler answer now.
Perfect, we'll take it.
Gotham Knights.
Which one was
Sure.
Gotham Knights again?
It's
I don't know.
it's not the one by Rocksteady. It's the one by the fucking Blackgate team because Rocksteady's working on Suicide Squad.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
I
It
forgot
might be a
about
game.
both of these games.
I think Suicide
might-
Squad looks fun for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be
It looks
fun. Who
like-
knows? It might
Looks
be
like
good.
Sunset
cool.
Overdrive.
I might not even end up ever playing this game, but it was on my list of games I might play.
Sure.
Well, Dash, what's your number one then?
My number one, like I said, I think there's an extremely strong chance this does not even make my top 5, but like, what do I just really want to play right now? Like, if I could just kind of will a game from Q1 into my hands, it's Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. That trailer they just put out, like, I was pretty hype on this since they first revealed it, but then that trailer they put out, I'm just looking at that, it's like, I just really want to fuck with that. Like,
Damn, that comes out soon too.
it's probably not going to be insanely great because again, Kirby's got a pretty bad track record, but it sounds really fun right
Yeah.
now.
If it's good, it'll be really good, I think.
Yeah.
But Kirby definitely has a lot of trouble getting over going from good game to great game.
I don't even like
very
most
few
of the
of them.
good Kirby games. But
I mean, I love the early Kirby
Yeah,
stuff.
like,
I'm excited
I
to
love
see like
Superstar.
what they do. Mhm. Adventure and Superstar are all-time classics.
Air Ride.
Air Ride's good.
Everybody loves Squeak Squad.
I just I again, it probably will not even be my top 10, but man, I just really want to get my hands on that and fuck with it. I think it's the combination of curiosity and also it just kind of looking like a fun romp.
Mhm.
I just really wish I could play that right fucking now. Talk about
Speaking of things I want to play right fucking now, it's gonna be Elden Ring. I like the FromSoft things. I think it's been a while since their last one was what, Sekiro?
I mean, I guess Demon Souls is Blue Point technically, so
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance. Then Demon Souls already existed.
I
didn't
was
have
being a
chance to play it.
pedantic dick.
Yeah, I know. That's just you
Did
though.
Terrasine come out after Sekiro?
What?
Which one?
The VR game, the VR adventure game.
Oh, that one was
What pre-Sekiro? Again, I'm being a
think so,
pedantic
yeah.
dick. Keep going.
either way.
Honestly, I forgot about that one too. I wouldn't have been surprised if it had gotten canceled.
It's not good.
Sekiro just didn't click with me. So I've basically been since what, Dark Souls 3,
Yeah, Souls 3.
since I've had something like that I could like really like dig into and dive into. So getting Elden Ring, I'm curious where it goes. I want to see how they do the open world thing. It looks pretty neat. I'm curious having like a new writer, like how they're going to do it. If, having George R.R. Martin in there, are they still going to try to do the hide stuff in item descriptions, or are they going to go more Sekiro? Or are they going to do both? Is it going to be a linear story or a spreading out story?
It's my understanding that Martin's stuff was more for like world building, less of like minute to minute writing, but like he was like extremely hands-on with like the creation and like general world, less like actual dialogue.
Okay, I mean that's still cool too.
Yeah, no,
'cause they're,
and
like,
I would rather that be what he's doing, frankly.
right. And because I mean, if they're going item description route again, then that's world building. Like
Yeah.
I want to see what kind of world he comes up with, because Miyazaki does his stuff and it's all really cool. There's a lot of like curiosity for me here, because it's like it seems like they're stepping outside of the Souls thing enough while still being recognizable that it's like I think I'm going to get something new out of this,
It's that
and I
little
hope
pot guy.
Yeah, the pot guy looks cool.
New Chick Hydrobot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number one. Like I am the most excited for that one. Even like I'm doing that thing where I'm like not even looking up stuff for it because I know I'm gonna get it. It's like I don't need to see somebody play the first hour a bunch or see up to the first boss or stuff like that. It's like I'm just gonna get it.
I know I'm going to get it and I know I'm going to enjoy it, but I have not been able to get hyped for it. Like honestly, from saying that they're doing
That's
another
probably for the
Armored-
best.
like them saying they're doing another Armored Core has me way more hyped than
But you know what that
Elden Ring.
means? You saying you're not excited for it is going to be in your top 5.
Oh yeah, and like
It happens every time.
maybe that's also I guess why I'm not excited for it is like it's a known, like I know I'm going to have a good time with it. It probably will make my top 5, but it's a known quantity, I guess, for me. It's like it's a FromSoft game. I'm going to probably really like it to some extent.
Yeah, because they're decently consistent. I'm
Yeah.
kind of going into it not expecting to be surprised, but I'm seeing how they like build on what they're doing, because I like all the Dark Souls iterations.
Yeah.
Need to know if it's got good horse ball physics.
Mhm.
You can double jump your horse. It's
Hunter, what's your number one?
they're adding a y-axis.
Real quick, the VR game was before Sekiro.
Thank you.
My number one is a game I had been waiting on for like 9 years, and then it came out in early access, and I even mentioned it earlier today. It's Mountain Blade Bannerlord.
I swear to God that game is out, and like I keep
Nope,
hearing it's
still
not,
early
and it's, like,
access.
every fucking day with this shit.
It took like 9 years to get to early access. It's not going to get out of it anytime
I
soon.
just fucking you and Zach, you're broken in the brain.
It's a real good game. It's just not out yet.
Jason,
Technically.
Jason, what is the number one thing that you want to just put in your fucking hands right now?
So I did check, and Sifu will have a physical release, but it's not until later, so that's kind of shitty.
Mhm.
I
Because
hate that they're doing
it's
that
because there's a
now.
chip shortage. They gotta
Well,
put the
this one,
chips in the discs.
this one, it looks like
Not
it
enough
was,
Doritos to
it
go
was
around.
originally only going to be physical, or only going to be digital, and like later in the game, people wanted a physical enough that they're like found someone to partner with to produce it.
That happened
So
with
it'll come
Kina
out-
also.
So it'll come out. It says spring of this year. The physical release will be
I
available.
might wait for that then.
But like, I really want to play it, but I don't know.
I feel better throwing down 50 for a physical game. Like call me old fashioned, but
I mean, I 100% agree with you.
I mean, if nothing else, if you don't like it, you can like sell it back and get some of it back.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But so my number one that was my number two until like 10 minutes ago when you guys told me Hogwarts is delayed unofficially. Even the Hogwarts game is gonna suck, but I'm gonna play it if it ever comes out. But my number one, I don't have strong feelings about, but it's Elden Ring. I've never gotten to play a FromSoft game like when it came out. I've only played like a little bit of Dark Souls and like years and years after it came out, and I'm stupid and bad at it, so I stopped playing it. But I don't know. I think it could be fun. Maybe it'll be too hard and I'll be shitty at it. Maybe it won't. We'll see. But
you can just summon people, it'll be fine.
Yeah. But this
Yeah,
is also another aspect I'm excited for, is like usually when we're playing, it's usually just me and Dash who are like talking about Dark Souls stuff, and then my friends and other people get into it later, and it's like, well, I've already beaten the game. Trying to figure out the summoning thing and explaining it to them. It'd be nice to kind of hop into a new world with a bunch of other people and figure it out as it's going.
but like I
just
I'm
gotta
looking
hope.
forward to it. I'm getting it when it comes out. I'm gonna try it out, see if it's fun. I hope I like it, but
Just gotta hope your internet
I have-
provider gets recognized.
I have absolutely no expectations. So I don't care. I'm not going into it as like a big From junkie.
Mhm.
Frunky.
Frumkey. Sounds like a
Well, I'm excited to
Pokemon.
play it with you.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition pre-ordered because it sold out in 15 seconds, and I do what I do.
Dash just has to get it on Xbox and PlayStation so he can play with everybody.
Look, I own fucking like 5 copies of Dark Souls. And if Elden Ring is that good, I will fucking do that as well. But that is a tall fucking order.
As long as it's as good as Dark Souls 3, I think I'll be happy.
Yeah, I would be content with that. I would not like it to be as good as Sekiro. I would like it to be a lot better than Sekiro.
Yeah, I would like it to click with me in ways that Sekiro did not.
Sekiro was
like
solid,
it to click with me
best
like
game
Adam
of that
Sandler
year.
movie.
Or Dash
Well, that's
can
gonna-
just buy me a Series X before that game comes out, and then I'll just buy it on Xbox.
You have an Xbox One, don't you?
You play that
Yeah,
stuff?
but I'm gonna. I feel like I need to.
I think
utilize
Jason's in
the
a really
thing that-
tricky situation.
Like I need to utilize the system that can run something the best if I'm getting brand new games. So I'm
Yeah.
getting it on PlayStation, and I'm bummed that there's no cross-platform support.
Yeah.
But I at least do have like a few other friends with PS5s that'll probably play it, and maybe they'll play it with me. But they're not Dark Souls nerds.
That's good. I envy them.
Yeah, we're pretty annoying.
So yeah,
What?
that's gonna.
No.
I guess I'll do a quick shout out to Windjammers 2 that comes out in 3 days.
Yep, that was my number 4.
As someone who played that game at PAX and who is a dipshit who loves his fucking French fighting game scene, I'm fucking excited to play some Windjammers on Game Pass. But that's gonna.
Shout out to Splatoon 3 that's supposed to come out this year.
might
I
check that
would
out.
love to fuck with that. I did not touch 2 because I bought it and got tricked.
You got tricked.
It doesn't have
What?
online co-op for multiplayer.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Fucking insane. What? What that's neither here nor there. That's not even a 2021 game.
Last
but
category.
our last category is to be determined at the end of the discussion. It is an honorary category that was developed out of my dislike of Neko Atsume. And it has since become a trend. And it is what is the most divisive game of the year. I feel like
Division 2.
every fucking time. I feel like we've had a way more clear-cut one previously, but I don't feel like we really have anything. There's nothing I want to get in a fist fight about.
No, in fact,
Um,
all the stuff I've written down it's no beef I have with you guys. It's beef with like the critics at large, I guess.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of one thing I've had in my. I've got like 2 contenders. One of mine is Inscription because I'm fucking mad about people not playing Frog Fractions.
Mhm.
And my other is Halo Infinite because never have I had such a divisive single game before.
Right, like within your own opinion.
Never have I loved one half of a game so much. So I'll just say that and throw it to the ether.
I think I can agree with both of those things. Like I've been hearing a lot more about Inscription, so I'm hoping it brings more people into appreciating these kinds of games. It just kind of sucks that it's packaged in a not very good like card game.
Yeah,
But hey, maybe more people will be more willing to
I
try
get
more
pissed
daring
the
things.
fuck off when people say that's a good card game. Like I
It's
get
got a
my
snake or
blood
something.
fucking boils when I hear that.
Because I think even the point of Inscription is that the card game isn't that great.
There are people who want just a standalone like infinite version of the card game. And that
Crazy.
makes me angry. I'm angry that's the one of these that has gotten super successful. Whatever.
For me, this one's going to be a little lower down. I'll just rattle off both of my 2. This one's a little lower down. I did not jive very well with Death's Door.
That's I won't fight that. I get, yeah.
I think I said it earlier. It just kind of feels like Oscar bait, the indie game, where it's like you take all these bits and pieces from other games and you make this like Frankenstein of an indie game, and everyone loves it because it has the things they've been told that they need to love. But yeah, when I played it, like it it felt like it wasn't really doing anything new or interesting, and yeah, I fell off it pretty quick.
It's
but
a
it was
solid number
fine.
10 of my year.
Yeah, it's like I don't begrudge anybody for liking it, but
I won't defend it.
yeah, exactly. And then this one isn't even for me personally, but just from like what I have heard from everybody. What the hell is going on with Deathloop? I feel like critics are loving it, but every real person I've talked to has been like, no, it's not that great.
I don't want to necessarily get to it as someone who has kind of conflicting feelings about Deathloop. The boys over on Nextlander were talking about it a lot because they've done their Game of the Year stuff, and two of the people think Deathloop is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy who has finished Deathloop does not like Deathloop.
I've just been all the stuff I've been seeing is like the critic stuff, number scores and things like that. It's like people are calling this thing like a masterpiece.
And
I can see
great.
I mean, I can even see though in some of those early things, it's just like it's a good game. Maybe I mean, as you get on, maybe get less good, but it's like the little nuggets of stuff they have there are good, but it's like nothing in here is like masterpiece level.
It doesn't seem I have not played much of it. It doesn't seem horrible, but it does not pull you in very well. I have no urge to turn it back on. I might, because like I was starting to kind of get a little bit of a groove, but then I jumped back into Resident Evil. But like the opening like 5 minutes are kind of fun, but then the hour after that kind of sucked.
It's on my like letdown contenders, and if I could isolate a single moment, it was the realization that there is only one route to beating that game. Realizing that game is in fact linear as opposed to like first person Hitman, like I was kind of led to believe it was, or like more roguelikey or more it's a linear shooter. And it's fun. The shooting's fun. I've enjoyed it more than I've enjoyed any other arcade game. Like the movement, the powers, like all that stuff is fun, but it's not what I want that game to be. And I feel I don't want to like claim that they're like misadvertising that game, but I feel like I was kind of misled on what that game was like. And it's whatever. I enjoyed it. I finished it. The story's fucking terrible. Not 12 minutes bad, but a lot of the same veins, let's maybe say. But I realizing there was only one path through that game fucking bummed me out. And at that point, I just kind of finished the game.
I feel like there's a reason it only cost me $25.
I beat that game in like 6 hours also because I didn't die in it ever.
Wait, shit, I just realized we haven't talked about 12 minutes at all.
We don't have a category for it anymore.
We'll do it in our little jazz session.
Are we gonna do it's 10 p.m. Are we gonna do jazz session?
We can be short. We're almost done with Divisive.
I'm also cool with meeting back up for
I think
jazz
we're done
session.
with Divisive. How long of a jazz session were you gonna do?
I've got just a bunch of games in there.
We can rattle stuff off. It'll be very quick. Let's finish up Divisive and see how we feel.
I thought Divisive was done.
I think
Are we good? Like, does anyone else?
You didn't have anything. I feel like I said Deathloop and nobody else said anything.
Yeah,
I mean, I had no divisive opinion. Once I found out Dash didn't like the Halo Infinite story, I stopped being mad.
Yeah, I was kind of getting ready to fight you on Infinite because you seemed really like negative about fucking Infinite.
It was really
like,
not fun.
buddy. I won't go that far either, but
I mean, I only put the Division 2. I guess Ryan and I disagree on Honey Pop too, but I mean, that's not really...
Yeah.
And like you and
Dash, what about like the one? I thought that it was all leading up.
I fucking hated Smith 5, but like Hunter didn't even fucking finish it. And I don't hate it enough. Like I don't
finish a game that you hate.
I've never understood. I wrote a whole fucking piece about this recently.
When I hate a game, I turn it off.
But it's like I legitimately wrote a huge piece about this recently of I don't understand JRPG fans. I don't fucking get it. And I guess I got it all out of my system there because I was fucking I just put all my hate into that piece. Like I don't feel the passion to fight him. He didn't even finish it. Like, there's
You
no
need
fight.
to. I know it's the best game.
There's
in
no
the year.
fucking fight in me for it. It's not even his number one. Like nor it also didn't just come up in all of his fucking categories. Like it didn't like.
It
There's
didn't
no
come up in
fight
any
to
of
be
his
had.
categories, did it?
It did for writing for the negotiations for the
And I agree with
and
him on
soundtrack.
that. Like and it's got a solid soundtrack. Like I agree on both those points. Both of those are like the solid elements of it. I don't think Smith 5 is like the worst game I've ever played. It was the worst game I played this year by virtue of like I don't play bad fucking games any. I guess I did hop into 12 minutes for a little bit, and it's not as bad as 12 minutes.
Very few games are.
All right. Well, let's wrap up. That's our wrap up.
So
on
yeah,
divisive.
that's most divisive. And then we kind of planned this little, and by we, I mean, I had a bunch of games on my game of the year that I didn't get to talk about. So I had put forth this idea. Sorry, Ryan. I'm allergic to cats.
Freeform
Yeah.
jazz discussion.
Yeah, there were some games that came out this year that didn't get to show up in any fucking category that I don't even know what I wanted this part to be. I'm playing Boomerang X right now. That's just a really fun action. It's very much like the way that Ryan has what is a Ryan game. This is what a Dash game is. It's a Devolver ass Devolver game. The way Ryan kind of is associated with Annapurna, I feel like I'm kind of associated with Devolver.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's a first person game where you get this. It's not even a boomerang. It's a glaive. And you can throw the glaive,
It's a crawl,
and the glaive will come back to you. And you got to kill enemies. Every level you beat either gets you a heart or a new ability. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to throw the glaive. And once you can like teleport to the glaive, that's when the game kind of like cracks open, where it's like, oh, you're never supposed to touch the ground in this game anymore. You're just going to like throw glaive, teleport. And it's a first person action game, fucking tough as nails, intense. One of those. And I feel like it's every single year there is like a Hotline Miami of the Year Dash award that gets given out, and Boomerang X is that game. You know, the fucking what is the one with the samurai, the 2D one?
Yeah. I don't. Oh,
Katana Zero.
Katana Zero, thank you. Where it's like it's this breed of game where they are not like derivative of Hotline Miami, but it hits all the same beats. And I just like them, even the kind of shitty ones. And Boomerang X is the Hotline Miami of the year. Hitman 3 came out in January. And while
I tried to buy it and they didn't let me, so I didn't play it. I never will.
It's probably the worst of the three, but also it has everything together in one package, and getting to play it on like Hitman 3's kind of like engine and system is really cool, carrying all my data forward. There is a mission where it's set in like an English mansion. It's like a Knives Out mission basically, or like a whodunit, where you are sent there to solve a murder mystery while you're trying to murder one of the people, and you can pose as the inspector and solve the murder mystery, and give them the answer. And if you do that, you basically are just given like a free pass to kill the target perfectly. I think that's a really fucking cool level. That storyline got completely fumbled, and they were kind of going interesting places with it, but it got fucked up, and I don't like the way the story ended. But also, it's cool that I can just keep Hitman's really fucking good. That current system is fantastic, and I still have all the other maps loaded into it, and it looks really good and it runs really good. Does anyone else want to say anything? I will keep going.
About Hitman?
No, about anything.
The only things I wrote Jazz
no.
down on, we ended up kind of talking about, but it sucks that Skatebird sucked.
Yeah,
because
that's a fucking bummer.
It just
I
feels
think-
like a bad student project,
Yeah.
although it's got such a strong idea.
Yeah, it's so
I wish.
cute.
Yeah.
The character creation is really good, and then the game is not good.
Yeah. What else?
I mean, I put
else?
Bowser's Fury on here, but I feel like we kind of set our piece on
Yeah.
Bowser's Fury. I hope they do more of that, like really badly.
My only game that I played this year that hasn't been mentioned at all, I think, is Monkey Ball, and it was Monkey Ball.
Hey, yeah, it's cool that they ported the games everyone's wanted to port. I'm really, really happy they did that.
Monkey.
And
But
then I played
also,
a bunch. I played a number of games from not 2021 that were fun.
Yeah, I played about the same amount of not 2021 games.
Yeah, I played a lot of boomer shooters, and I think I really like that.
You've got a
genre.
brand.
I've got a brand.
Hey, Dusk is on Switch now.
Oh, sweet! I might check
You
that
got a
out.
Switch now. Mario
what
Party
else?
Superstar, I touched on it, but I genuinely, it was my number fucking 7 game of the year. But like Mario Party Superstar, I'm so happy they finally made the thing I've been begging for, and also it was as good as I wanted it to be. It is the thing I have wanted this whole time. It doesn't have 50 turns in it, I guess, but if that is the sacrifice I have to make this thing exist, then cool. It's got online. Sure, we've never done that, but in theory we could. Um, it's cool. I think Returnal is super duper dope, even though I beat it on like fucking 6 runs. But I think that it's a really, really cool game, and I hope that they do another one of those or some more content for it. But also the fact that these runs take hours and there is no way to stop midway is insane.
And it's so shitty.
They have fixed that now. You can do that now, but it is insane that they did not have that for seemingly no reason. Unpacking is super duper cool for like doing a completely new idea, but there's a game called Loop Hero that I can truly say I have never played a game quite like this before. I would highly, highly recommend it to people. It's on Switch now, even. That just got ported recently. It was my number 9 game of the year, and I would really, really recommend Loop Hero to people who maybe just want to try like a weird, quirky tower offense game. My only mark against it is that it's a little fuck you hard sometimes. But it's a roguelike, so it comes with the
That's how
territory.
they do.
I
If you don't have anything else, I think we should finish off on 12 minutes. But if you still have stuff,
I can keep going.
keep it.
WarioWare was good. WarioWare was fucking good.
WarioWare was good.
I like WarioWare things. I liked the little demo we played.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I personally like the twist they did with the characters. I think that it adds a layer of chaos onto it that isn't too chaotic. My only complaint is that some of the characters really suck.
Yeah,
and not
some
in
of
a
the
fun
WarioWare
way.
needs chaos.
Some of the characters like are just worse if you're not doing co-op.
Yeah,
Like Dribble and Spitz and Cat and Anna.
and it's like I wish I could kind of filter those out, but I still think that it's still really, really fun. I still really do like that game. Death's Door, we touched on it slightly. I think that's a really solid like action Zelda game, but also much to your point, it's kind of Oscar baity, and it's not. If someone told me they didn't like it or didn't want to play it, I would say, yeah, okay. Somehow they made a Pokemon MOBA that whips an incredible amount of ass. Pokemon Unite is extremely, extremely good. It solves a ton of MOBA problems. My only
Does it
complaint
solve
with
the problem of it being a MOBA?
No, unfortunately, it just reinforces that.
it's only every game is only 10 minutes long.
Maybe for the best.
Yeah, and it's great because like if a game's going super bad, hey, whatever. It's gonna be over by the time it's going bad, it's gonna be over soon, and I can just queue right into another one. I've had a really, really good time with it. I would like to play more of it.
10 minutes too long.
Chicory is a cool little Zelda-like game that I would recommend to a child or someone who doesn't play a lot of video games. But I think it's well made. It's just a bit juvenile for me. Kena Bridge of Spirits,
like a baby's first Zelda.
Kena Bridge of Spirits has the exact same issue where I think it's a really, really well-made game. Really good baby's first 3D Zelda. Very, very pretty. It is a debut game from an animation studio, and the stuff in it looks fucking great. I had a good time with it and everything, but it's a little Oscar baity in a similar way to Death's Door, but I still enjoyed it. Operation Tango was cool. Forgotten City, for being a Skyrim mod that was turned into a full game, I still think everyone should try it, but they totally blow the ending. But I think everything up until the ending is pretty fun.
Well, it doesn't have multiple endings. Maybe you just got a bad one.
No, I got all of them because there's achievements tied to each one, and I'm
neat.
psychotic, so I have seen every ending. The true ending is terrible. I won't get into it in case someone plays it.
So the thing I couldn't get into with Forgotten City is it's built around just doing Skyrim dialogue, and that's kind of all it is. And that's my least favorite part of Skyrim. And even though I liked the characters and the writing and stuff, I just kind of found myself having trouble being engaged with it. Where it's like, go talk to this guy, and I was just like, nah, I don't think I will. Are they
I
ever just
fundamentally found the mystery intriguing. I found the puzzles to be fun to solve, but I also, again, I'm not gonna go to bat for that game too hard. And again, the ending really fucking sucks. I said my piece on Inscription. I am mad that that game is. I hate to be like that guy being angry at like the success of a game, but like it's that thing. I'm just pissed off that that's the one of these games that got this praise. But whatever. Frog Fractions continuing to be indie as fuck makes Frog Fractions cooler. So
Yeah, and Dash wants
whatever.
to gatekeep his secret club.
I want people to fucking play Frog Fractions is what I want. And then my last thing is a recent addition to this list. I'm having a lot of fun with my daily Wordle. It's it's the little things.
That might be most divisive. I'm tired of waking up every day and seeing those black, yellow, and green squares on literally every app I open.
5 out of 6. 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6.
I have to see it for the first 2 hours of
I-
every day, and
I saw it so many times that I finally had to Google what Wordle was.
Who
and I
was
like,
the
"Oh,
first
it's a
person
game."
to actually post it in the chat? Because I know I talked about it, but I wasn't I wasn't inflicting it on other
I
people.
think it was
It was either-
Sean.
It might
I
have
thought
been
Sean
Zane.
posted it.
See, I thought it was Zane.
I think Zane. I think I talked about it, and then Zane did it and got it in like 2 guesses, and we all just assumed he cheated.
I still assume he cheated. But
I remembered that, but I remember specifically somebody saying something and Dash being like, "Oh shit, you do Wordle too?" And then
yeah, like it's just a fun day. If you could do multiple puzzles a day, I would have fallen off it long ago because I would have just milked all the thing. But it's like just a daily like wake up
Yeah.
and solve it. It's fun, but also I liked Lingo and I like Mastermind, so it makes sense that I would like the Lingo, the daily Lingo.
tired of seeing those damn boxes.
You're gonna keep seeing them for.
I'm
probably at least a few
I'm
more
okay
days.
honestly. My issue with like putting World in is I didn't play it until this year, so it feels kind of like disingenuous to put it in at the 2021 games, even though it is a 2021 game.
Yeah, I think I first played it probably on like the 3rd or 4th of January.
Yeah, it's just a thing a dude made for his wife, and I kind of just appreciate that. Just a
Neat.
little thing that's kind of blown up. And now my stuff is done now, except for 12. I guess what the Battle in Wonder World's fucking insane, and it killed Yuji Naka's career. It was so bad.
What
Still
like
really funny to me.
what was his plan? There's a novelization. Sorry, I'm all over. There's a novel. He built this whole game around like costumes, but there's 200 or 300 costumes, and
it's a
there's so many
one-button game.
repetition.
It's
One button game.
It's fucking bizarre. It's a new Dreamcast game in the way that you would expect a new Yuji Naka release to be. It is not. It's not Quiet Man crazy, but it's damn close. It's in completely.
Which game of the year person described it as if the It's a Small World ride was a registered sex offender?
I think that was a Nextlander person. I think Alex Navarro said that.
But then it's also
that
based
really
around
sold
like
me on not needing to
dancing.
play the game.
It's crazy. Like it's buck fucking wild. It is insane. Like it feels like a fever dream. And once again, a Square Enix game that got an incredible amount of marketing ends up being like the most insane thing of the year. Like Quiet Man before it. It was a $60 motherfucking game. Like I cannot emphasize enough. Quiet Man at least didn't launch at 60. It killed Yuji Naka's career. The guy what made Sonic the motherfucking Hedgehog cannot get a job after that fucking game.
Well, he makes one good game. I mean, to
That's
keep your
debatable
job,
also.
to keep your job, you usually need to do things well the whole time and not
That's not
constant
always true.
nosedives.
As the Yuji Naka apologist, and like I remember when I saw it shown originally, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. They're making a new Dreamcast game. Like, and then it came
and then you
out
remembered what
and
playing
it
a
was like,
Dreamcast game is like.
oh no, the Dreamcast has some bangers. Like in the same way that like the way that something is a PS2 game, this is a new Dreamcast game. And it's fucking insane. Holy fuck, Jason, I've got a physical copy.
What?
Balan Wonderworld
Oh.
on PS5. I have the pre-order bonus. See, I've got a ticket. Got a ticket. It's signed by Mr. Balan himself. Look at
Ooh.
this disc. Look at how cool this disc looks. Fucking, there's an ad for Dragon Quest in here. It's fucking insane that this exists. Fuck, Square Enix on a fucking tear lately, man. Limp Bizkit and fucking Avengers and fucking Balan and fucking Quiet Man and I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. And they're getting the fucking Final Fantasy Online money, so they have more money than God.
Right.
Fucking-
So Balan Wonderworld 2 coming out 2024.
It is one of the worst playing games in recent memory that it feels like shit. Everything about it,
has like the same animation, like the terrible running animation.
it's fucking crazy. If you get close to any NPC, they disappear. I still don't know what the Tower of Tims even fucking is.
The Tower of Thames. What more do you need?
It's fucking. I've got two Tim trampolines on my Tower of Tims. It's fucking bizarre. In like, again, not the same way Quiet Man is insane, which is still the room of video games.
Mhm.
But
But it's
Balan
its own flavor of just like, what the fuck is happening?
It's like that. You know how like when the N64 existed, people just like made a game about fucking anything.
Mhm.
Chameleon
It's kind of
Twist.
like Chameleon Twist, but not cool like Chameleon Twist. Fuck, Balan is crazy.
Balan is good because it's the only game with Box Fox.
Dude, it's got Pound Pig in it.
Jason, Box Fox is a power that randomly turns you into a box.
Not a fox.
No, because you are a fox that randomly
Oh.
turns
That's
into
a
a
fox
box.
suit. It's fucking.
You have no control of when you turn into a box.
It's fucking insane. It's the QuickTime event Balan's bout, the soccer mini. It's fucking crazy.
There are like 6 jump buttons.
Well,
No,
because it's
no,
one button, but
it's a
every
one button
button
game.
does
Every
the
button
same
does
thing.
the same thing. It's
So
a
you can play-
contextual button.
Yeah, it's how what button you're most comfortable pressing.
Hunter, tons of suits don't have. They removed your ability to jump
Oh, sorry.
because you can only do one thing in every suit. Fucking crazy. So we're talking about 12 minutes. Is it time?
Yeah, I think so.
Might as
Hurry
well.
up. Hurry up.
Okay, 12
Where
minutes.
do
take
we
like
even
this.
start?
I'm gonna just go through the story because
We-
that's the crazy
we-
part.
But I mean,
We
no,
Willem
start-
Dafoe.
we
we
got to start with
started
the
the-
Willem Dafoe, the James McAvoy, and the Daisy Ridley.
Yeah,
we
big
started,
names.
We started the first E3 announcement of this game when I said it looked fucking stupid and awful.
I still think
and
it's a cool
you,
idea.
And
Yeah.
you guys thought it looked cool.
I thought it looked like an indie game that could have been neat.
It's a time loop fucking puzzle game. Those are cool.
Yeah, which most of the game, like 4/5 of that game, are this actually like really interesting, like almost like a sandbox sim kind of game where it's like you can try anything and like stuff will work out, and as you do these different things, stuff will happen. You're stuck on a strict time loop thing, but yeah, like pretty much everything you do will do something.
There's no fast forward though. So if
Yeah,
you
there
fi-
is.
if there no,
I've
fuck
seen
no,
it
there's
fast
not.
forward. I've seen it fast forward.
Then they
so
have
might
added that
it.
since launch. But if there's something you need to do at minute 10 and you want to continue, you want to experiment past that, you're sitting around waiting for a while,
For 10
hitting
minutes.
fucking shit again. Which I did not finish 12 minutes because I found it so frustrating to play because it discourages experimentation in a fucking puzzle game
Mhm.
because if you fuck it up, you have to wait all the way back around again. So it's good that they added a fast forward. That's not going to save it, and I'm not going to go back
Oh
to
god,
it.
no.
But that's good that they added that the same way they added the shit to Returnal. So
Okay,
Ryan,
so
let's talk about
basically,
the story.
so the story is you come home from work, your wife or girlfriend is there, announces she's pregnant. A dude
Got
breaks
it.
in and he's like,
Willem Dafoe breaks in.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe breaks in.
The
and
Green Goblin breaks in.
He basically wants like a pocket watch or something And then there's like this whole thing that unravels that like he was her dad's best friend. And there's this whole like mystery where like someone killed him. He thinks it's her. This guy's also down on his luck. So he's trying to get this pocket watch that's costs a lot of money from her. But you go through it and like you think that you're trying to escape the time loop. And by escaping the time loop is doing it so Willem Dafoe's character doesn't come in and kill your pregnant wife.
Because fucking Professor
James
X
McAvoy.
is aware that he is in a time loop.
Yeah. So he knows, and he's trying to figure out how to get out of it. And like through this whole thing, you like kind of solve the mystery of the dad's dying, but it's like you make it so it's like it obviously wasn't the wife. But
Let's
and it's
fucking
like,
do
cool,
it. Let's
that's
fucking do it.
Then it cuts. You do escape, but you find out that you killed the dad because you're the wife's brother, and the dad was gonna break you up.
No, you're her half brother.
And who is the dad?
Willem Dafoe.
Yep, the cop is your father, who is Willem Dafoe, who's not dead. You've got a fucking incest baby.
Mm-hmm. And so the way they find that out is
What,
the
you didn't
wife.
kill anyone's dad?
The wife's whole thing is like she pulls out a onesie that has your mom's name on it. Like, I already named the baby this, and then the guy's like, "Oh, I don't think the dad's Willem Dafoe.
There's like
Willem Dafoe's his best friend."
No, I'm pretty positive Willem fucking.
No,
Because that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't he recognize his? Why would he go there saying
stupid?
The dad is Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
It's not.
No,
there's no way it's the same character.
Willem
No,
Dafoe,
it is because again,
Yeah.
it's stupid. That's the problem. Let's see, 12 minutes, blah, blah, blah. After finding the hidden watch in his apartment, he's repeating the same evening to his wife. She eventually confessed her secret past. The wife tells him shortly after she was born, her father had an affair with the nanny and a child was born. The discovery of the affair and the existence of the bastard child drove her mother into a deep depression and eventual death. Years later, during a heated argument on Christmas Eve, she accidentally shot her father with a gun, ran away afraid of the consequences. The husband eventually figures out how to interrogate the cop and learns that he was a close friend of the wife's father. The cop's daughter has... I'm halfway through the plot of this game. Cop's daughter has cancer. He wants to sell the pocket watch to pay for her treatment. The cop's version of how the father died is also different. The father survived being shot on Christmas Eve, but someone else returned on New Year and shot him with the same gun, killing him. Stupid. Realizing his wife did not commit the murder, the husband finds a way to prove his wife's innocence to the cop. The three characters talk peacefully and deduce the killer was the bastard brother from the affair. Unfortunately, the loop still repeats, so the husband focuses on finding the bastard brother's identity. By questioning the cop with this new information, he learns that his mother, whom he had never met, was the nanny. In shock, his repressed memories return, and he relives that fateful New Year's evening 8 years ago. He confronts the man who took care of him and confesses he has fallen in love with his daughter, only to learn that the man is his father and the daughter is his half-sister. Unable to cope with the truth, the struggle ensues and he accidentally shoots the father and flees. Using the watch to reverse time, because the watch allows the distortion of time, of course. Why wouldn't it be supernatural?
Right.
The husband returns to reality where he is still talking with his father about falling in love with his half-sister. The time loops are revealed to be the husband imagining a positive future with his wife, the sister, and the cop is a manifestation of his father's interference. So it is his dad. Not really. It's stupid.
Yeah.
The husband
that's
decides
even
to accept his father's proposal and leave his half-sister. He enters the loop where the apartment is empty and he is alone. If the husband refuses the proposal, the scuffle repeats and he accidentally breaks his father's neck. And the loops continue to repeat. If the husband recites a book that the wife was reading during the loops, the father offers to help him forget his half-sister, causing the loops to reset and begin anew. Finally, the husband stares at the clock before choosing to forget. The father tells him to end his imaginary future, ending all time loops, except for the happiest timeline he imagined from the beginning. So the cop is the father, but not actually, because all of it's a fucking
all of it's imaginary.
It sucks. Like,
it's
what
so
the
dumb.
fuck?
Because it was a fine little like time loop mystery thing until this last bit where it's just like,
why?
How convoluted and messed up can we make this thing?
Why?
By the way, you're fucking your sister, but also you're not. You think you are, and she's pregnant, but you don't know she's your sister. But then you learn she's your sister,
Yeah.
and you start feeling bad about it.
The guy who developed this was a developer of The Witness and then wanted to make his own thing.
Should have stayed on with The Witness. But also you can fast forward time by hiding in the closet or laying in bed.
Okay, cool. Good that they added that.
I think it was always in there.
I
But you just have to
fucking
discover it.
cool. Would have been a cool thing to fucking mention before I dropped your bad fucking game before learning how it gets worse.
In it, the wife is prepared dessert for you, and if you do the necessary steps to make the cop not immediately try to kill you when he comes in, he'll be like, okay, come on, talk to me, but you can just sit there eating the
Dafoe.
dessert. Yeah, Willem Dafoe will be standing literally right next to you, telling you to talk to him, but you'll just be sitting at the table eating like a pudding thing, and the character will be like, oh, it's so good. Oh, babe, this is delicious.
Like the acting is fucking terrible by like all parties. Not that like I'm saying like James McAvoy is exactly like the best actor who ever lived, but like all three of these people can probably do better. Like it's stunt casting in a really fucking bad way. Willem Dafoe, what the fuck keeps happening to you when you touch video games? Like, how is this? How
I mean,
man?
12 minutes beyond the two souls. I think there was a third one, but I don't remember it.
I just
And then also just a really weird choice they do in the game is the whole thing is built around this guy comes in and kills your wife, or you can kill him, or he kills you. All of the deaths are like super graphic, and like you're watching them like slowly bleed out and all this stuff, and you have to watch it over and over and over and over again, and it's just like you couldn't have like, I don't know, not made it so traumatizing to look at.
like go play the Sexy Brutale if you want a cool time loop puzzle game. Go play the Forgotten City. Fuck it, play Deathloop. I don't give a shit. Like there are good time. Play Majora's Mask. Fuck it. Like there are good time loop games out there. I think the Sexy Brutale is probably like the closest analog to 12 minutes. But fuck, how did this happen? Why
Awful.
didn't
Just
anyone
terrible
at any
writing.
point say something? How did they act it? Like, was it just like, well, the money's good? Because it's an Annapurna joint, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's Annapurna.
And now act like you're really regretful that you knocked up your half sister.
Just like, man.
There's a lot of dialogue too, though. Like it's
bad.
not good, but it's there.
So yeah, we cut most baffling, and maybe we shouldn't have.
Yeah, there were a few, but that was a good jazz sesh.
Yeah, I feel content. I don't think there's anything else I need to necessarily get off my chest. Far Cry
that's
6,
all we can say really about 2021, I think.
Far Cry 6 was lame as hell. I sold it for more than I paid for it. Boyfriend Dungeon was a kind of interesting visual novelesque Hades that wasn't the end. That wasn't great. It was okay. I enjoyed it, but it's not the end of the world. I still don't like the Judgment games. Binding of Isaac had a really good expansion. Make it to consoles or everything. Maybe Exo 1 was a cool weird game on Game Pass. Destruction All Stars was really fun for a day.
Noida's good. Didn't come out this year, but Noida's good.
Mighty Goose was a fun fucking. If you like Metal Slug, that's a good one for you.
I've got that one downloaded. I like those.
I had a good time with it. It's not super hard. The Gunks, they pronounce it Solder in the first like 15 minutes of the game, and I turned that shit off.
Oh, shout out to Metal Slug Tactics that I completely forgot about.
Yeah, I'll fuck with that. Probably.
There we go. Edit this part into most anticipated.
12 minutes.
I think that's everything.
Excellent.
I think that's every game
next year.
Until next year, depending on when this comes out,
It's gonna have to come out after last year's.
We'll see what happens. But I at least have all the clips now, and they're in my possession, and we'll see what happens. But until then, we bid you a potentially better 2022.
Open.
I want that Kirby on the Z-axis.
I want that there Kirby.
I gotta get that there Kirby.